Hello. I have an apology to make. The audio that you're about to listen to is particularly on my end, absolute dog shit. And the reasons for that are myriad and complex, but the essentials are this. For whatever reason, my computer has decided on this particular occasion and on Sunday when it comes out that we're not recording with the USB mic anymore. We're going to record with Daniel's shitty HP laptop mic, which sounds like a bag of kittens being drowned in the canal, and it makes for a rather poor listening experience. But I'm here to take responsibility for that embarrassing fact, and I just want to reassure you that while these apologies are unique, they probably won't be the last, because I'm an idiot, and I'm sure that I'll end up doing something like this in the future. But I just want you to know that I don't mean it. It's just my own incompetence getting the better of me. And for that, I'm sorry. Cheers!
Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
Humankins, let me kiss you better with my
That was
big
very strange.
green lips. There you go. Done.
That's flawless, Danny. I can't fault you at all there. That's absolutely stunning.
I was struggling to think of one there. I was like, impression of this episode.
I would have gone for the weird nakedness thing. Where it's like in the first episode, they're like, oh yes, the honor of the hunt and all this. And it's like, okay, I can kind of get that. It's like like Klingons that are like the honor of the hunt and they treat it as a ritual and all that. But like, then they're like, yes, but the honor must be faced naked. My body is magnificent.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay. That's not weird at all.
I need to be naked. Rejoice in it. Your body is magnificent. Sounds like fucking David Attenborough. Start talking about two animals.
And here we see the naked body of the Slytherin.
Here we see the naked body of the Rexicoricovelopattorium about to embark on another hunt of humankins, as they like to call them.
They are most notable for their big green lips.
Anyway, if you couldn't guess, we're doing Annie. No, no, we're doing Doctor Who Season 1, Episode 5, World War 3. And you'll soon realise that World War 3 really has very little to do with the goings-on of the episode.
Yes. Not only does World War 3 not happen, it, I don't foresee an outcome of this episode in which World War 3 could have happened.
Yeah, exactly. It was written by Russell T Davies. It was directed by Keith Bulk, and it is starring Christopher Eccleston, Billy Piper. What's that writing?
What?
What's that? What have I wrote?
Can you not spell? Is this the problem we're having?
I can't actually read that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
But anyway,
right.
Camille Kaduri and Noel Clarke. There's someone else. Oh no, wait.
World War 3
I
Doctor
put
Who
Simon,
episode.
and then in brackets I put No, because I don't think there's anyone called Simon in it.
Oh, right, okay. Well, helpfully, Google does not have immediately accessible the cast, so that's good.
No, but this is pre-written down. I'm going off my own notes here.
Ah, wonderful.
No matter how
Good to know that your handwriting is impeccable.
it's sort of squeezed into the side and pushed up the rear of the page.
Good to know you have respect for this mysterious Simon who may or may not be in the episode of Doctor Who.
Have you got an opening statement?
I do. Tense all the way through. A great conflict with a competent and scary enemy. How rare is it in modern day Doctor Who that we have a competent, scary enemy?
No, not.
The enemy is either scary, like that bloke with all the teeth on his face,
He
was scary.
He wasn't scary. Are you joking?
Okay, no, right,
Tim
okay.
Shaw.
Let me qualify. The teeth face thing was scary, just because I think it's a bit gross to have like 100 teeth on your face.
He could have done something interesting with that, but his name was fucking Tim Shaw.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
And yeah, the Doctor made fun of it. It's like, if you're gonna have a competent, scary bad guy, don't call him Tim Shaw. Rule 1. Rule 1.
Yes, that's the one thing I love about sci-fi is all the rules. That's the thing I love about this freeform concept. Have you got an opening statement?
I do, yes. The first two-parter of New Who, and while it's entertaining and thrilling, it has a little too many ex machinas for my liking.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It does get me how it was. You're right about the Ex Machinas. The other thing that gets me is the sort of comedy of it.
Yeah.
There's like, don't get me wrong, there's like an understated campy comedy to all of Doctor Who, and I think that's where it shines. Yep. That's sort of where it's best. But like that thing we were saying just now, your body is magnificent. Take off your skin, rejoice in it. It's like, that was kind of almost weird, because it cropped up so much it became weird. And there was that stuff with Andrew Marr stood outside of 10 Downing Street.
Yeah.
Quite what the president of the North Sea Boating Club is here for, we do not know. And it's just like, what?
I think it's kind of nice that the Slitheen family don't body shame, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I suppose so.
That's their one redeeming quality. They'll destroy your planet, sell the ore for raw profit, but they don't insult the way you look.
Well, that's the thing. They are essentially just the space mafia, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like the Goodfellas, but in space. Or I can't think of the Breaking Bad mafia. What are they called? Gus Fring. Have they got a name? Gus Fring's mafia.
Well, no. There's just
Don Eladio and his mates.
Yeah. Well, there's just Gus Fring, and then there's the Juarez cartel.
Oh yeah, Juarez in space.
Yeah, Juarez in space.
That's what this episode is. Juarez in space, but also in London. Yeah, that's what we've got here.
Yeah, and they speak with posh accents as well.
Yeah. That's another thing that got me about this. I know that we're not doing any kind of specific critiquing here. This is not going to get us any kind of award, but good lord.
No.
But what's the one? Is it Blonde Fel Foch? She comes back later in the season.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, well, her. At one point, a Slitheen comes out of a room, passes his skin suit to her, and then she sort of puts it onto a hanger, but like in a really difficult way that she couldn't quite. Clearly, the actress, it was like the first time she'd ever done it, so it was just sort of threw it on a coat hanger. Was like, yeah, that'll fucking do. And then they cut back to this hallway at some point in the future, and all of the skin suits are like very neatly lined up, like they've been pressed and ironed and starched. And I'm thinking, Which one of the Slitheen is doing the laundry? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like she was just so excited to start in World War 3, but just went, right, there you go, because we'll be putting them back on soon anyway. Well, why would they, to be honest? Maybe she was just tossing them. Maybe she was just going, right, fuck it, we don't need them anymore.
Yeah, gives a shit. Yeah.
Just to give...
That's another thing I did just think about, because World War 3 and the nukes and everything, their plan with the nuclear bombs is that they're going to wipe out humanity and then sell the planet.
Yeah.
As molten slag, I think they call it. So, but like, if Terminator 2 taught me anything, it's that if you fire all of the nuclear weapons at once, surely there's going to be some humans left.
Yeah.
Is their plan to do all the nuking and then just like melt the rest of the planet from orbit?
Yeah, because look, nukes won't destroy like the crust of the planet. It won't fracture it into like molten slag, as she said. You would need something else. In which case, why wouldn't you just use the other thing that you're going to use to turn
just
the
melt
Earth?
the planet before anybody can even stop it? Yeah.
Because the human race doesn't exactly have like huge laser weapons at this point. So just do it while they're not looking. Just right, quick, turn it on. Right, it's on. Right, there we go, done. That's it. Instead of this, we're at the heart of government. We're going to nuke the planet, but that won't destroy. That won't break the planet. So we still need to break it in. It's really convoluted, to be honest. But then again, most mafia plans are. So
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's what gets
maybe
me about
maybe it's
yeah.
the sport of it.
Maybe they enjoy the difficulty. Like maybe they view this as some kind of hunt.
Yeah.
They're sort of ritualistically hunting for ore in the surface of the planet. I've no idea.
Or maybe we're just making allowances for a really stupid plan. Yeah.
Perhaps. One thing I do want to say about the Slitheen is the character design is absolutely spectacular.
It is, to be fair. I'll give them that.
They're both adorable and terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing that really gets me is when you see them running in this episode, and they're sort of running almost like a predatory animal, like a lion or a tiger or something that runs on all fours.
Yeah.
And you sort of see, because they've become so elongated, and that just makes them much more threatening than standing upright, and they're kind of chubby, and they've got these cute eyes that are just massive. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it just makes them so much more scary to see them sprinting and like, doggedly determining, like, really, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Hunting people, that's the word.
Yeah. I mean, I have a critique about that. Why even bother using CGI? Because it's just because if the Slitheen actually ran like that all the time, Rose and Harriet Jones would be dead.
That's true.
Because there's a bit where it's just this big green thing going like that and running really slowly. But if they can run like a xenomorph or something like that, then they'd be dead, which would make it, yeah, you're right, a bit more scarier. But if you can't keep that up throughout the entire episode, then don't do it, because people are going to be like, wait a minute, it doesn't run like that when we're looking at it properly. So why is it now suddenly just burst into life? And then
I suppose
it can't even open curtains properly. Did you see that thing?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. You know what
I mean, you're not wrong. To be completely honest, you're not wrong. It is an ex machina. I can't think of an in-story reason why. Apart from maybe if they're like 8 feet tall or something, maybe they need some room to get up to speed.
Yeah.
So it's not always practical for them to sort of fall down to all fours and run.
Yeah.
Also, surely there are advantages to running on 2 legs rather than 4. I mean, well, in fact, no, because their arms are much longer than their legs. So yeah, you'd think like a penny farthing. That's what the Slitheen are essentially. They're a big penny farthing.
Yeah, that's the perfect adjective for them.
That's the takeaway. Penny farthings. Yes,
that's a
it is.
noun. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's a weird start to the recap. If you watch the recap, because the Doctor then goes deadly to humans, maybe, and sticks the tag on the Slitheen's neck. It's like, yeah,
right.
But I don't care about the Slitheen's death. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh no, what's going to happen to the Slitheen? No, if you just stuck with everyone else getting electrocuted, that would be better. Rather than
also, why? I might have just missed this part when I was looking down and taking notes. But why did electrifying one Slitheen electrify all of them all over the country? Because the one in Jackie's flats suddenly was like up and shaking because he's been electrified. But like,
I mean,
was he wired in somehow?
Are all the wee collars like communicators or something like that? Or
well, I always thought they were compression thingies.
Yeah, but I know they are. But like, is there something else like that? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's a fucking ex machina right there. That's the first of the episode. All of them get electrocuted at the same time. Wow. It's like the fucking Phantom
By the way,
Menace.
did you think there was a lot of gun toting in this episode? Especially considering it's British police.
Yeah.
There was a lot of guns.
There was a lot of guns.
By the way, well, another thing that got me was how, what's his name? I forget his name. It was the general in this. He pointed at the Doctor and went, "I authorize you to execute this man."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, fuck! A police were just ready to do that? Armed police just ready to execute people whenever?
And
on the orders of some general?
The complete lack of critical thinking skills from the police officers in this. It's like, Sergeant, have you read the emergency protocols? No, I haven't. Then don't question me. It's like, if I was the police sergeant and I was getting told to execute people, I would be like, maybe I should have
Something
a
seems
wee
wrong
read
here.
at these protocols. Has anyone got a PDF file with them or a wee copy of them? So just so I know what I'm doing, rather than just acting. Sergeant, I order you to put your balls in honey and coconut, as it says in the emergency protocol. It's like, that doesn't make sense to me. I would be wanting a copy of them. You know what I mean?
Yes, no, you're completely right. Or at least some kind of executive order passed down through the proper channels.
Yeah.
Because I think if in all these action films, there's a lot of things where, like, I mean, it isn't an action film, it's Doctor Who, but in all action films, and also this episode, there's like some general that says, your orders are now overwritten, you take all of your orders directly from me, and all the soldiers are like, yeah, alright, that's fine. But hang on, what? That doesn't make any kind of sense. Why would that be an immediate... Why would you accept that immediately? Wouldn't you go, well, what happened to our other commanding officer? What happened to him?
Yeah. That's like...
Because then he's going to turn around and say, oh, well, I electrocuted him to death.
That's like working in Asda, and like a manager from like a completely other part of the country comes in and just starts telling you to like stock shelves, and you're like, no, I've got shit to do for this branch because that's what we always do. So if I do what you say, then that's going to fuck up everything that I'm already doing. It's like, no, have you read the emergency protocol?
The Asda emergency protocols. I wonder what they'd be. Secure all of the cereal immediately.
Yep. Secure the freezers.
Bolt the freezers. They've all got deadbolt locks installed. Yep. Go through the padlocks. Padlock all the freezers shut, just in case.
Hide all the in-date stuff. Anyway, we're going vastly off track here.
We are. I have a quick question.
Go on.
When the Slitheen that was pretending to be a police sergeant and he was interviewing Jackie, when he died, the Slitheen that was the Prime Minister said, yes, I felt it. So, was he psychic? Are Slitheen psychic in some way that I don't understand?
Is that maybe connected to the compression field?
Maybe.
Why didn't he...
Yeah, actually, that checks out kind of in a funny way, because then when you said something about them being also being communicators, maybe he felt him disconnecting from their mesh network or something.
Yeah, but then again...
But then on the same level, when the Slitheen exploded, why was the compression collar not there?
So, see, if one collar explodes, does that mean they all explode then?
I don't know, because it was the Slitheen that exploded, not the collar. The collar was just like, present for the explosion.
Yeah, but it also got exploded in the event of it. And if as we've seen, one collar affects all the Slitheen, so surely they should all be dead.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Fuck's sake, Russell, what are you doing? You're a great writer, but this is just, come on. Do you know what I mean? Also,
I feel like we've gone over the fact that would be an incredibly painful, suffering-filled death. to turn round to, say you or I, and just pour, like, hydrochloric acid, stomach acid, over our heads, and then watch us melt into the floor.
Yeah.
That would be incredibly horrific way to die.
Yeah.
And yet it's just blown off as, oh, well, the good guys are doing it. It's fine. Just chuck some pickled eggs on them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I think it goes with the theme that at this point the Doctor's still really emotionally scarred from the Time War. And in the next episode, we find out a wee bit more about that. But,
yeah, and I suppose you wouldn't see Jodie Whittaker's Doctor being like, yeah, let's melt these aliens with acid.
Yeah. She
yeah, that's a good point.
I really like Harriet Jones.
I really like Harriet Jones too. She's a great character.
I think she's really good. I think she's really good.
I have two language-based nitpicks.
Okay.
First one, Buffalo is not a secure password at all.
Yep.
Use the password Buffalo. It overrides everything. What? Sorry, what?
I mean...
The password Buffalo overrides anything.
No.
It's not a lot of letters.
Nowadays...
And it's all one case as well.
Our phones create better passwords than that.
My phone unlocks at the sight of my face, so it has to be me that unlocks it with my face.
Our phones nowadays have got better security than the fucking... whatever... the British naval thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was like Trident, or the UN version of Trident,
Jesus
or something ridiculous.
Christ.
Then he just logged in and was like, yep,
Buffalo,
that overrides everything. Time to launch a missile directly at Downing Street. What?
Oh my god. That is nonsense.
My other thing is, Hannibal would be absolutely crap as a last word.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, Hannibal! And then everyone dies. Well, I was just shouting Hannibal because I was so sure it was going to work.
Yeah.
And now everyone's dead. Like, what? Hang on.
I mean, it was good for like the bit with the vinegar, but like, why are you shouting it now when it's just a fucking missile heading for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I love you, Mum, or something like that, or
yeah, something like that maybe.
Because there's a line in the Christmas special with David Tennant, Harriet Jones, we were trapped in Downing Street, and the one thing that scared you, it wasn't the aliens, wasn't the war, it was the thought of your mother being on her own. That's never mentioned, not once, in this episode.
That's very true, it's not. Does the Doctor, like, psychically interface with her or something at some point? Like a Vulcan mind meld?
Yeah, but this
or something like that?
This is the thing, there's too many fucking, maybe it's just that, maybe it's that. It's like, no, you can't do it. You have to tell us. You can't leave us to reason it for ourselves. Because, oh, God. Maybe this two-parter isn't... The first part was really good, but the second part is just... Oh, yeah, the lift as well. The lift! If you're gonna try and kill me, don't stand me against the lift. Who pressed the lift? Who summoned the lift?
Yes. Plus, are you telling me they couldn't have shot him in the time it took the lift door to close?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a lift with the lift doors have slammed shut?
And even
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and even if they did, you could shoot through them.
That's very true. I doubt lift doors are bulletproof.
No, they're
Maybe they are.
Maybe.
Maybe Downing Street lift doors are bulletproof.
Yeah, and he's going to give us a 20-minute monologue about how Downing Street installed lifts that are bulletproof in 1996. That thing about...
By the way, that fucking blast shield thing. What the fuck?
Yeah, is that even true?
I refuse to believe it is true. Even if it is, I refuse to believe it. That sounds too much like propaganda for me to actually believe
1996. It's like...
Plus, the implication is that the interior of the room has remained the same since like a million years ago, or whatever it was that the Doctor said. So, like, did they just lift out the interior of the room, put in this steel endoskeleton, and then put it back in?
Yeah.
Is it built like a ship in a bottle? How did they possibly make that work?
Fucking hell, I don't know. Because I think he said, like, 1996 that it was installed, but they'd have to destroy the room, put all that in, and then rebuild it again. So, no.
Plus, that thing that Harriet Jones says at the end, where she, like, smacks the outside of the big steel room and goes, "Made in Britain."
Was it?
Okay.
Do we know that?
One would presume it was at least assembled in Britain, if it was built, like, purpose-built for that room. But, like, it's the exact opposite of, like... like, you know, in the IT crowd, which, you know, Graham Linehan's terrible, but when Moss, he puts the fire extinguisher on the side, and he's reading through the instructions that says, "Made in Britain, great." Then he takes the pin out, points it at the fire, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then that's the joke. It's made in Britain, therefore it's going to be a bit crap. But then in Doctor Who, quite often, like again in, was it Waters of Mars? The Doctor was in that Mars base, and he was like, "Yeah, good old Liverpool steel." It's like, I mean, does it matter where the steel comes from?
Yeah. I think it's just...
No, maybe I'm just a bit...
I think it's just appealing to the mainly British audience. I think. But that's... I don't want to know where the fucking steel was made of. I want to know how it was installed. I want to see how you got Downing Street torn down without anyone realising, and then put in a big fucking metal crate. Oh.
Plus, say number 10 Downing Street in this reality was completely destroyed, but also for some bizarre reality, no one was actually hurt in this in this turn of events, which doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
Would your immediate go-to be, let's rebuild number 10? Wouldn't you build something better in its place?
Yeah.
Do you know what I feel like it's possible to build something better, for one. Something perhaps more apt for the times.
Yeah, rather
than... Number 10 is an old building.
Rather than just a house.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not as old as the Houses of Parliament, but apparently, I remember reading somewhere or listening on a podcast or something, and they said that they had builders and surveyors into the Houses of Parliament, where there's constantly there are literally sewage leaks in offices of MPs.
Oh, yeah.
There's ridiculous things like that. But, the builders literally said, well, if it wasn't a listed building, we'd probably just demolish it and start again. Because it's like it was built before electricity, before you needed to cable Wi-Fi into every room, and so, as a result, the walls are just a mess of lead plumbing and atrocious sewage systems that just don't work. So I have to imagine that number 10, being the old building that it is, has at least a little bit of that going on. I know it's not Houses of Parliament old, but it's really fucking old. Surely it's got shit plumbing or something, or asbestos somewhere. Why would you immediately rebuild that exact same building? Why not build... constant damp. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it did have constant damp.
Jesus.
Also, was the Downing Street cat okay? That's what I want to know about.
Oh, what's his name?
Well, right. This is one of my favourite facts about politics. Is during the coalition thing where it was David Cameron and Nick Clegg?
Yes.
They both, I think officially, every family that lives in Downing Street has to have a cat as the official mouser of Number 10,
Oh my God.
i.e. a cat that catches the mice.
That is so shit.
David Cameron, I think David Cameron got a cat from somewhere or other. I forget where, but the cat was very, very lazy, and it was like just sort of sat in chairs and slept. Like my cat, it did very little. It just sat down and slept for most of the day. But then Nick Clegg rescued his cat from somewhere. I think it was like a stray or something. And then that cat was like a very aggressive mouser, and it caught like more mice than any other cat in Number 10's history ever had. And I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of either of them, but I'm a fan of cats, so I quite enjoyed that fact. Larry? Is that the current mouser of Downing Street?
That's the cat's name, and it was born... he was born on January 2007, and he is now age 13.
Lovely. Cats live for ages. They're like 25. You hear about cats that are like 30 years old, don't you?
The oldest dog was like 26 or something like that.
Oh, damn. How do you think the oldest cat is?
800.
It's kept living out of spite. The oldest cat ever, according to the record books, was called Cream Puff. Was born on the 3rd of August 1967 and lived for 38 years and 3 days.
Whoa!
Bloody hell. 38 years. That's incredible.
That is pretty cool. But anyway.
Anyway, we were talking about Doctor Who, weren't we?
Surely, surely the Doctor could phone other people rather than the people that are dead downstairs. What about,
for example, Unit,
the Brigadier, the Shadow Proclamation? There are fucking loads of people that he's met over. They can't just be random extras down the stairs that we've never seen before and have just
that's what got me about the extras. It's shows like Doctor Who, when they have quite a high budget like this, they try and sort of lower the distinction between members of the cast that are obviously extras and members of the cast that are not.
Yeah.
So i.e. people that have speaking roles, people that don't. So in the line of people that were walking past Blondfell Foch, when she was going, yes, just go upstairs, it's on the left, and all this sort of stuff. A couple of them were saying, yes, okay, thanks, yep, or stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, none of the rest of them in the line actually said any words, which was just quite strange. It's like, God, you could have made it less obvious than that. Come on.
Oh, God. An intergalactic recession sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, because, I mean, I find it hard to think of an intergalactic society which is based on a unified currency.
Yeah.
Like the space euro, or something like that.
Yeah, or the space pound.
Yeah, the spound.
Because surely it's millions and millions of civilizations.
Yeah, which would be trillions and trillions of spounds.
Yeah, like all having their own culture / currency.
Yeah, that's true, actually, because in that episode, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS or something, that handheld machine that guy has scans the room and it says...
Isn't it credits or something
total
like that?
price value. Yeah, but then it says something like, this room... The value of this room is more than the sum total of every currency. Which implies that, like... It's of, like, I don't know, space dollars, and then space pounds, and space rupees, and space... Oh, I can't think of any other currencies, but you see what I mean? It's like, how many other currencies are there? Because then there's... hang on, no, I'm getting annoyed about this now. This doesn't make any sense. This is that episode... It was one of the first Jodie Whittaker episodes. The one where it was like the scavenger hunt in space or some shit. And they were on that planet. And the guy on the sofa said, oh yeah, the prize is a bajillion schmeckles, or whatever he said. And then Jodie Whittaker looks at the others and goes, how much is a schmeckle? And they go, oh, it's about a dozen... blubber. Oh, and it goes, oh no, I don't know them. And goes, it's about a dozen jigububba. And it's like, what? How can there be that many? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God, yeah, but like, maybe...
Sorry, I got much more angry about that than I expected to.
Maybe in the Raxacoricophalopatorians part of space, there is like a sort of uniting currency.
The United Federation of Raxacoricophalopatorians.
Yeah, or maybe there's like a sort of EU of space, where it's just loads of different countries sharing the same currency.
Yeah, that makes sense.
in that part of space. But the universe is quite big, so it's like there are parts that are economically doing quite well, and others that are doing quite shit.
Maybe.
Which
we are running out of time quite rapidly here, but there's one more thing I would quite like to say.
okay.
That 10-second thing that Rose said to Jackie is absolutely horrible.
It really is. I mean,
because you're just sentencing her for the next, however long it takes until you come back. She will constantly be sat there going, why isn't she back yet? Why isn't she back? Has she died? What's happened to her? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, and I'm thinking about it as like, if she didn't come back in those 10 seconds, then that probably means that she never will. If you know what I mean, because she would have just came back, but we would have just seen it happen. Because it's that point. It's not like you wait a little bit, because from Jackie's point of view, the TARDIS has just left, and then it should come back. Do you know what I mean? It's not, oh yeah, I can do that later on, because at that point it's still going to happen, and Jackie's still going to have just seen the TARDIS go away, and then it come back. But because it didn't come back, that means that she's never going to go back to 10 seconds after she left.
Yeah. Okay. It's a really cruel thing for anybody to say to anyone, but especially considering how petrified Jackie is.
Yeah. I mean, World War III almost just happened, and fucking yeah, I'll be back in 10 seconds, and then no, gone
forever.
And holy shit, Mickey's treated so shit in this episode.
Mickey is treated so shit 24/7.
Yeah, Mickey, you were born in the dark. What? But what is the necessity?
He's helping you. Be nice to
he
him.
Just saved the world, bitch. God's sake. The Doctor doesn't like wine. That's an established thing that keeps on going. Or is it wine or is it whiskey?
Yeah. I don't know. Is that episode? Is it the Impossible Astronaut or something where he drinks that bottle of wine and goes, "Oh, I thought it'd taste more like the gums."
Yeah, something like that. Which is kind of nice, I think. Shows his childish. Pickled onions goes back to my diet, folks. But
oh yes, 39 jars of pickled onions a day.
Yeah, throw that in a
Danny's
Slovene and that'll fucking. Oh god.
Throw you at a Slovene and it's just the Slovene. Atomizes itself immediately.
Oh god. I think that. I think that. Yeah. I think I'm done.
Yes, I think I am also done as well. Plus, I'm starving. I need a snack.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done complaining about this. Oh god.
The thing that gets me about this is, yes, there are lots of things that don't make sense, but it was also eminently enjoyable. This episode. But like, you look at like the Chibbers stuff. And it was so crap that it went full circle and became not enjoyable at all.
Yep.
Not even from an ironic perspective, because you just sit there and get angry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, in T. Davis's era, there are really really good episodes, but there are always those that are just sort of shit, like Love and Monsters and Fear Her and stuff like that.
What was the one with Peter Kay?
Yeah, Love and Monsters, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At last,
anyway.
The greatest feast of all, the Doctor. The most scary bit. That's fucking worse than Tim Shaw, I've got to say. Jesus. But anyway, closing statement?
Yeah. Space Mafia for the win. Who doesn't love the Slovene?
Yeah, well, there you go. Good two-parter. Too many ex-machinas. A new villain that we don't see again, at least in Doctor Who anyway. A shame.
Yes, I mean, we should have had more Slovene. The Slovene are great. Yeah. I just love them.
They're in the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah, and wasn't there also a different family that was in the Sarah Jane Adventures?
The Blatherines or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It's been years since I've watched Sarah Jane Adventures.
And they will look red as well, which is like how many are all the families just like red, green, yellow, and blue, and I don't.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. That would be a weird.
Anyway,
that would be a weird way for genetics to work.
It would. This is very true.
But anyway.
I suppose if they're calcium-based life forms, then whoa.
Yeah.
I wonder what they put on their chips if they can't put vinegar on.
Space vinegar.
Space vinegar. Spinnaker. That's what they put on.
Spinach.
They liquidise some spawns.
Spinach-based vinegar.
God, that doesn't sound good
no,
at all.
It doesn't.
That just sounds like you've left some spinach to go mouldy and horrible.
Oh God.
Eek.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry everybody, that was a horrible image. Right, come on, let's do the credits so I can go and throw up of the thought of mouldy spinach.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was it. So, we are on. No, I am on. Fuck's sake. Shilling Time. I am on Instagram at O'Hiram. I'm on Facebook at Daniel K Actor. I'm on Twitter at Kevzer2000. What are you on, Lewis?
I'm on Instagram at Lewis_Brindley. I am on Twitter at LewisBrindley4, and I have a Facebook page, which is Lewis Brindley.
Excellent.
Indeed, it's wonderful.
It certainly is. We are partnered with a wonderful company called Strudels Ltd. And I think you're editing this week, Lewis, aren't you?
I believe I am editing this week, which means I have the honour of bestowing this podcast with the greatest advert ever to be written.
Yep.
And it's going to go in here.
Hey Dan, do you ever drink things?
No, actually, I don't.
Right, well that's messed the ad up then, hasn't it? Oh, good grief. Well, if you're not a massive weirdo, then you might like to drink things from time to time, and sometimes you might even like to use a straw.
Yeah, and there are lots of options available. I've got a metal one, and they come in plastic.
Bad for the environment.
Or paper.
Falls apart immediately.
Yep, which is why strudels are out there. Strudels are straws made out of pasta, and straight away both of those problems Lewis just said are solved. The pasta will decompose in a day after you throw it away, and they'll stay strong in your drink for at least an hour.
Exactly. What's not to love? Plus, they're super convenient. Having a couple of them in the cupboard will mean you don't have to keep cleaning a metal straw every time you do the dishes.
Indeed it will. Check them out today at strudels.co.uk. You will not regret it.
Beautiful,
Wow,
beautiful. It
man.
almost makes up for my screaming of here, which sounded
Here!
vaguely terrifying.
I
Here!
get the fuck out of here. We are on Podomatic. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Deezer. We're on Google Podcasts. We're now on Amazon Podcasts, which is very
Yeah,
exciting.
who even knew that existed? Damn.
Yeah. We're on what do you call it? We've got a PayPal donate button. That's what I meant to say.
That's the one. We do have a PayPal donate button. It's on the website, shoutingtothevoid.podomatic.com. That's the one.
Definitely. And we're also on Patreon. And we would
are.
like to thank our wonderful patrons, Chloe, Darius, Sophie, Peter, Aditya, and a newcomer, Richard.
Yes, thank you very much, one and all. You make this podcast possible. If you want to be a patron, go and check us out, patreon.com/shoutingintothevoid. We have a lovely little community on the Discord. Every now and then I'll chuck a message in and be like, hey, up, how's everyone? Everybody's dead positive. It's really nice. Make sure to check out our Patreon, or make sure to join us on Instagram Lives. We're normally always there.
Please do. Please do.
Yes.
We also have merch. We sell T-shirts, tote bags, jumpers, stickers, mugs, all sorts of rubbish. And you can find that.
I think you mean all sorts of priceless
Yeah, it's all
goods. Then.
priceless goods. And you can find them on Teespring and Redbubble.
Indeed you can. Yeah, the links will be in the description or the show notes, or whenever you're listening to this, they'll be nearby.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, we are partnered with another amazing company called Number 12 Crochet Avenue. Take it away, Lewis.
We are. Number 12 Crochet Avenue is an amazing business run by my amazing wife. She crochets, and she is sickeningly good at it. Her Instagram is at Number 12 Crochet Avenue, and the aesthetic is impeccably flawless. I often say it's like the chef's kiss. It's that thing, and it is. Make sure to go and check out the Instagram. She takes commissions. She sells the little things. It's absolutely wonderful. Make sure to go and check it out. Number 12 Crochet Avenue on Instagram.
Absolutely. Well, I have got some exciting news for all you
Oh, does he?
Doctor Who fans.
If you're listening to this and you're not a Doctor Who fan, then
What are you doing?
you know what
Yeah.
what are you doing? Maybe you're fans of us. You just don't give a
Yeah,
shit
maybe.
about Doctor Who.
I doubt it, but maybe.
I doubt it. We're awful.
So, if anyone's been paying attention, the next episode is going to be Dalek, which is a very, very good episode, and it carries with it a lot of myth and I was going to say legend, but it doesn't really. But before we do Dalek, Lewis and I are going to do Genesis of the Daleks which is a very old story in the classic era of Doctor Who, with Tom Baker. Which is, yeah. So that should be fun.
Well, hey, should be fun indeed.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a bit of expanding the mythology from the 1960s to now?
Yeah.
What a long-running show this is when you really think about it. It's crazy.
It goes on for forever. The song is ending, but the story never ends. Hey, we're not there yet.
No, we're nowhere fucking near that yet. It's gonna be doing this for fucking decades before we get to that point. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Make sure you tune in to the next episode, which will be Genesis the Daleks. Make sure you check out Shouting Into the Void instead of Whispering Into the Void. Leave us a review, like us, hate us, but ideally like us.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. What is it you say?
We'll hear you,
listen to you.
Calcium decay you, blow up your planet by infiltrating government, but really using another device that melts down the planet. Why wouldn't you use that in the first place? Next week.
Yes, see you then. Thank you for listening.